Yo, what's going on, guys? So, I'm gonna rip the band-aid off here. We lost Shiny Wars. I was on Field Team 6. We got second place, and it's upsetting, but I wanted to make this video to bring up like what we can take away from this as a team, share some of that with you guys, what can we do better next year, and then how the event can be improved next year. And I know a lot of the things I'm going to bring up in that section are already planned, but I'm going to bring them up anyway, just in case anyone watching this video isn't aware of the changes that the guy running the event park has already said he plans on doing. So, like, ripping the band-aid off, we lost. You see it right here. First place was ETG. This was a very, very stacked Chinese team. I'm pretty sure this was Gap Bear's team. Gap Bear is like the, I guess for my English viewers, I think he's like the Chinese Petrowski. But this was our team's scoreboard. This is the top 19 players. I wanted it to be top 20, but whatever. I cut off the bottom 10 because I don't want any hate going towards anyone that didn't do very well. But I got 145 points. I think I did like pretty well overall. I was pretty lucky. I had some of the lower encounter numbers of these like top 10 people, but I got lucky, and you can't really control luck. I kind of wish I did more encounters, but generally speaking, I think I did about as much as I could. I was working during this war, which shows that you can do it too. If you have a job, you know, we had people on our team with full-time jobs, and we were off by like 100 points, which really, it sucks that we sucks that we lost, but what can you do? So what we can take away from this war is that, one, I think like we've been pretty down today. The results just got announced like an hour and a half ago, but I think we really should keep our heads up high. We were one of only 4 teams over 1,000 points, and we were like we were very far ahead. I think 4th place had literally 1,050 points, and then we had 2,900. So we grinded hard. We put a lot of hours in. But the takeaways from the event itself is, one, the most important thing in the whole event is playtime. Like, you just have to dump hours into the game. All the prep, everything you do is completely useless if you're not willing to drop like an ungodly amount of hours on the game. Like I said, I was working, and we had people with full-time jobs. Those people were spending all the time they weren't working grinding the war, and that's why we are at the spot we are. It is a no-lifer event. We got to draft better. We had a couple drafting decisions that weren't very good. So we had one player who I won't name in particular, but we drafted him only to do alphas because he had a lot of money. He was swiping on the game as well. So it's like we drafted him with the sole purpose of doing alphas. And we realized later on that that is just not a viable strategy. There's like one guy in the whole event that got good points doing alphas. So like that goes into my second, or my last point of this section of, all or nothing strategies are bad. If you want to go for MVP, like if you're trying to score as an individual, that's kind of what you have to do, is those really risky, like high point variance strategies. But if you're trying to win as a team, you want the most consistent high points per hour strategy in the game. So what we can do better next year, we have to draft better. It's an odd way of phrasing it, but you really just, like, you want the same thing an actual war wants. You want people who are willing to dedicate their life to the event while it's going on. And you want people that are willing to just do the meta strategy, like, for the whole war. I ended up with 10 shinies from this cave that I'm standing in. which, like, I don't like Cryogonal or Cubchoo or Beartic. I don't like any of those Pokemon, but, you know, I ended up with 10 from this spot. And then next year, I definitely think we can just play harder. The event is likely to be shorter, which is something I'm going to bring up in the next section anyway, but I'm thinking if it's a month-long event, I might take like 2 weeks off of work, something like that. Not sure. But now the point of the video, like that was all takeaway, and I plan on doing a more in-depth video on that, more educational about, you know, what you can do about Shiny Wars next year. But this one is how can the event be improved next year? The obvious, the most obvious, the extremely obvious, shorter event. This event was 2 months long, and I think a lot of us would be a lot less upset about losing if we didn't dedicate 2 months of our life to it. Like, it's really sad having played this much time and walk away with 500 RP, which brings me to my next point. The event needs better rewards. I know it sounds like I'm salty because we got second, and I wouldn't be saying this if I got the Charizard wings, but no, I do think that a month-long event for 500 RP is terrible. I think like top 5 maybe should get something, and the rewards should be better. It wouldn't hurt if you gave better rewards to then retroactively give that to second place from the last event. You know, I'm not... Who knows? But the other idea, this is one that I heard once and kind of wrote off at first, but then the more I've thought about it, it is, in my opinion, perfect. I think that duplicate shinies should be worth less points. Now, look at this. If you go to my shiny box, look at all these... Look at this. These are all Pokemon that I don't even like. Ignore this feel. I do like that guy. These are all guys I don't even particularly like, but I have 10 of them because, you know, it was a really good spot. So, one of the ideas I heard was if you get a Pokemon that you've already registered for the event, it should be worth half points. This would make the event very dynamic and interesting. You know, say for the start, we would all be hunting Trapinch Cacnea because it was very good. It was the best non-winter spot in the game. But then, once you hit a Cacnea, that spot's not very good anymore because instead of a 6-pointer and a 10-pointer, it's a 6-pointer and a 5-pointer. And I think that really, really would have improved the event. The other one is that fossils need a hard nerf. Like, people, I don't think people really knew this until the end, but people thought Mysterious Balls were going to be like a pay-to-win GG method of winning the Shiny War. Mysterious Balls sucked, like were generally terrible, not worth doing. But fossils were insanely overpowered. The best non-winter spot in the game was Trapinch Cacnea, and doing fossils at a normal pace without some of the techniques that we later discovered in War was at minimum 3 times that. It was like kind of gross how overpowered fossils were. Now this is going to be a contentious point. This is also my last point. I think that a Shelfa hatched from an egg should be worth the same amount of points as the highest tier of like normal egg. That is another just like straight up like being rich gives you a big advantage, and I don't think that a shiny hunting event should be that. Our team was very wealthy. You know, we had a lot of wealthy players, so we got to take advantage of these things, but I don't think they should be so overpowered for the next event. Shelfas really weren't that overpowered, but it, like, objectively speaking, it's better to hatch for a 50-pointer than a 30-pointer, you know? But I don't think we should be incentivizing this much money spending. But yeah. I do plan on joining next year. I am probably going to try to organize a team of mostly Spheal members with some newcomers, looking for people that are hard grinders. But I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. I'll probably have like 1 or 2 more videos talking about Shiny War in more depth, maybe with like more editing. This is just a off-the-cuff video because the event just ended. But yeah, we lost, but we won 500 RP, so it's all worth it. Have a good one.